Hey guys, welcome back to Motorcycle Maintenance Channel. Have you guys ever torqued on your drain plug too tight? If so, I'm going to show you how to replace your oil pan. In this case, it'll be a 2013 R6 motorcycle. The first thing we got to do is unhook our exhaust. Luckily we have an aftermarket exhaust, so we'll just take off this spring here and then these springs over here so that we can access the oil pan. Now we'll go to the other side and do the same thing to the other side. Two springs. There's one. There's two. Now the whole thing should just disconnect from right here and we can get right to our oil pan. This one seems stuck. I'll put some lubrication on there. All right, so we can't get this Y pipe off here. So we're gonna have to remove half the header here. Since it's an aftermarket header, we can remove cylinders 1 and 2, just these two, without having to do the other half. If you have a stock exhaust, you're gonna have to remove all this anyway to get to your oil pan. All right, that's out of the way. Next, we got to get an Allen key that fits these bolts here. So it looks like a 5mm. It is a 5mm. Before I do that though, there is a sensor that goes on the bottom of this oil plug. It looks like it's held on with two 8mm sockets. So get that one. Could be oil in here. There is. Right. Flathead screwdriver. Try to pop that sensor out. That's supposed to go off. There we go. And there's that sensor. There you go. Has a little cap on it like this. The cap doesn't need to come off, but it can. All right. Back to our 5mm Allen key. And we'll start working off these bolts. So we don't lose the position of the bolts. I'm going to go ahead and set it in our new oil pan. So this will be the bolt closest to where the sensor hole goes in. Right here, it has this little clip that goes with it. There's where the sensor came out of on the old one. Kind of helps us locate where we are on the oil pan. So we're right there. Oops. There you go. Looks like a fairing stay. It's attached to this bolt. There. This one. Going by the lettering. Come back this way. And these aren't torqued on very tight. There you go to the other side. corner is equipped with a fairing stay. Okay, that's all the perimeter bolts, and then you have one more, I believe one more bolt right here in this little hole. It's deep. There it is. All right. I believe that's all of them. How to pry this thing away. Oh, it wasn't too bad. Oh, wow. There is some oil. Now we'll take off our old gasket here and put in a new one. There we go. Nothing to it. Alright, now before we seal it up with the new gasket and the new pan, we're going to clean these mating surfaces here. So that way we get a nice good stick to it. I think this is real interesting. Dipstick comes in, goes right here, and that's where you measure it at. Let's see what the action looks like. So you take it out. You're like, oh, we're going to measure our oil. Oh, there's no oil in it. But that's how it's done. After you drop the oil pan, just putting some brake cleaner on here, you want to clean the surface where the old gasket touched the metal before. Try not to hit this thing. It's on there very loosely, and if you hit it, it's just going to fall. I mean, if it falls, it's okay. You might splash or whatever you have underneath here catching oil, but try not to hit it. If it falls, just put it right back in its spot again. Let's see, there, I hit it. Go. Now I have this gasket here, which is going to go next. Orient it in the same way it needs to go on the bike. So you see the little square? Put that on your brake side. And then we'll just bring it up this way. Okay. Line up the holes there. put it just like that. Alright. Grab our oil pan. Obviously all these screws I had carefully placed here are going to fall out when I flip it around. That's okay. It has to. So I'm going to do it like this though, so they kind of fall where they were. They're all about the same size, so it's okay if they get mixed up a little bit. But for the most part, we like to put them right back in the holes they came from. Alright. This way. This is all real delicate stuff, especially this gasket. So I'll start with this main fairing stay bolt in the corner. Other fairing stay bolt goes in the other corner. Put it there. And we're just finger tight. Not even finger tight. Just getting it hung up there. So we don't have to be holding it all the time. And then we'll go to the other corner over here. Look, you won't be able to see this corner. Now, once you get 3 of them, your gasket will at least be, all the holes will be lined up. There we go, look for the 4 corners. Now we'll do this side. Right now I'm just kind of doing them in any particular order, but I'm not really putting any torque on it. I'm just kind of putting them in place. When we torque it down, we're going to torque it in a star-like pattern, always working our way to the opposite side of each one. We want to do it like that so that there's even pressure on the oil pan as it goes in. This one goes that deep one in the middle. Right there. This little hook guy here goes right behind the fairing stay, and it was there to hold this wire here in place. Nothing to tweaking it, just finger tight. Okay. Put our sensor back in there. There we go. And I just took these out of the way so I could get that sensor wire a little bit more slack. But we'll put it right back to how it was from the factory. And then we'll take these guys and do the same. So if you find that difficult to put in, like I just found it difficult to put in, it's okay, you can move this stuff around. Put it back where you got it. Now, those are two 8mm nuts. Again, or bolts. We're going to put these bolts in finger tight. I promise you there's not a whole lot of torque on these. I don't know what it is, but it's very light. We're going to look that up here right now. But do not over torque it. And you can tell when you look at the oil pan, if you go 1mm too deep, you'll snap the bolt. Oil crack your pan. But it's just because they screw in and come to a dead stop. Alright, we'll get you those torque specs right now. So, like I said, it's not very much torque. Those two 8mm bolts under here that hold that sensor up is at 10 Newton meters. Each one of these Allen key bolts are going to be at 12 Newton meters. That's very little torque. And if you're going to do very little torque, you need to have a good reputable torque wrench. I use a Craftsman that's years old, but you know, something that you trust and costs more than $15. I don't even trust that. I'm going to get some smaller extension for a more accurate reading. It's just a really big deal, guys. If not, you end up changing your oil pan again, and God knows what else. I got this little bitty extension on there so I can really feel it. All right. Come back to it. All right, let's go nice and slow in a crisscross pattern on all the other bolts. So I think this one's a 5. And these will be at 12 Newton meters. I'm not even going to go to full torque yet. I'm just going to kind of work my way around and work my way up to full torque. So I'm just going to go crisscross and slightly tighten it by hand. Very little, because 12 Newton meters is not a lot of torque. Torque. Reach torque there. You hear that? That's what it sounds like. Don't go past that. Torque.
R6.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Matrix.
If you're not cautious and you don't feel nervous when you're torquing these, you're doing it wrong. It's very little pressure. And I've done lots of these, but these low torques like these always scare me. Typically using a long extension is not going to affect your torque by that much. But when you're torque is in like the single digits like this, it's best to try to use the shortest extension possible. There we go. All right. Go back to those lighter torque ones, just because I wasn't feeling it. There we go, there's one. I mean, it's such a light torque, you can barely even feel it in the bar. There it goes. All right. And that's it, guys. That's how you install a oil pan. Now we just got to put all of our exhaust back on and it's good to go.